But I was somewhat saved by my lack of money, my lack of income. I did not, in my world, my starving artist was focused on my art. And so I did not focus on worldly things. And for that reason, I think my health is better because I wasn't involved with big pharma. I learned to separate myself from the society and the world that operated in transfer of funds over meaningless things. It's almost like I fasted shopping. It was a shopping fast for many years. And I used to love shopping. And then when I started shopping fasts, I realized that it was all I did. All I did was shop. And I'd shop at the arts and crafts stores for arts and crafts that I never did because I was busy shopping for something else. And that shopping truly was the American pastime, and it was my hobby and my business, and I did nothing else. So when I created that shopping fast, it allowed me, and this fast would go into other areas of my life, wearing makeup fast and speaking fasts, food fasts. And really, it taught me the placed a priority on things in my life, like clothes and objects, activities. It allowed me to create a hierarchy of what is important. And really, what is important is a value system. It's not the clothes you buy or how cheap you get them or what a good deal you got on them. It's about an expression of style and what you want it to say about you. Do you want to be TJ Maxx? I mean, if you were on the world stage, which you are, what would you want to say to the world? TJ Maxx? The Gap? Modest? Average? Good deal? Thrift store shopping is another starving artist technique that I've gotten very good at. But a big turning point for me was when my friend started an essential oil business and wanted to share it with me. And while I loved essential oils and used them already when I made bath stuff for my arts and crafts hobby shopping habit, the sticker price of these oils that were above the grade of oil I was buying, they were above food grade, they were above therapy grade, they were supplement grade. They came with a sticker, supplement information with them. But that might be another story for Supernatural Body. But this lack mindset brought me into a place where I was backed into a corner, could not move in any one direction because I had so exhausted all my minimal resources when, by the grace of God, I got pregnant and had a baby for the first time at the age of 43. It was very clear to me that God was working in my life. I'd never had a baby previous, never even been pregnant. I'd given up on the idea that I would have a baby many years before that. But I was also in a dire strait financially that was maybe not acceptable, but passable for an adult that didn't have any responsibility to anyone. But with a baby, I felt very strongly the weight that not only I didn't have any money, but I didn't fit in the world in any way. I had friends, but my connection was so severed, kinked by money. I had just gotten my graduate degree because I wanted to expand into writing, which I didn't do after grad school. Did in grad school successfully. But I saw very clearly it was God working in my life, this baby. But I also had to bring God into my heart and accept him. He was working in my life. But I had to accept him into my heart to be able to lift up out of those circumstances. Indeed, the two visions I saw previous to having the child and after the child. Previous to having the child, I had a recurring dream when I was sleeping of a tornado, then later hurricane that was coming and everyone was running for cover. And I watched this tremendous act of God move into the environment and threaten everything, certainly me in my life. And this tornado got wetter and wetter as the years passed, leading up to my pregnancy. And then after the baby, I had a day vision where it was a dream of mine that I just wanted. But it really wasn't mine. It was like God was telling me in my waking daydream that Opal and I would get into a hot air balloon basket and be lifted up out of our situation and placed in a place of safety in the mountains. And I felt like this was a metaphor for what God was going to do in my life. And I accepted him in. When I look back on what he did after, it seemed like the gears moved slowly in the day-to-day. I'm still suffering under massive bills, not knowing where income is going to come from, very insecure about the future and for my baby. But when I look back, it's very clear that God sent me on the most direct route straight out of that dire situation and into the dream that I wanted when I was too busy focusing on my lack to focus on how God was moving in my life previous to having my child. It's not that God wasn't there. God was there and gave me my biggest gift when I had turned my back to him completely. I was the one who couldn't step out and move in any direction God would tell me to. God's not going to walk my feet around. I mean, he could. But for me to live this life, I have to become the yoke for the Holy Spirit. Willingly.